this gorgeous guy. Are you coming too? Are you ready? Let's go. Whoa! He just took off. Look at this guy. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Texas animal, most beautiful. Doctor is. Hey, doctor. Hey, doctor. Your fans await. What are you doing? You gorgeous thing. Look at you. You're beautiful. Look at this guy. Oh my God. All right, go. So we are living some interesting days, me and Chunks. Where do I start? Everybody's living some interesting days nowadays, right? Here we are walking, loving life, living life. Me and the doctor. And one thing that's really interesting is that I had my van is no longer with us. So everything is interesting because we're either walking, biking, or taking cabs. I haven't taken the bus yet because where I have to go to work, there is no buses, so it costs like about $120 to get there. But aside from that, so all these events transpired about 4 days ago, I think, 5 days ago. Happened on Sunday of last week, and I think today is Friday, so here we are, walking with the doctor. Taking Dr. Chunks for a walk. The most beautiful animal in all of life. He lives for this. So I don't know how many of you are pet owners out there, but I've given a lot of thought. This is like, I think, my third or fourth dog. And with Chunks, I've really realized that things are a certain way with these animals. One thing I realized was that, you may be busy, you may have all kinds of things going on in your life, but that shouldn't affect your dog's recreational time, I guess you could say. Like, for one, he lives for coming outside, right? And why wouldn't he? Look at this. Because of that dog over there, he forces me to get outside because I have to make sure of his well-being. And the interesting thing about that is that when you start to think about what it's like to be a dog, you'll start to realize, no wonder why they want to be outside, because they've been inside all day until they waited till you got home. Now, usually, Chunks is always with me, so we're always walking and on our breaks. Before we get there, he's usually always with me. This is the most he's been at home in a long time. A lot of the customers I deal with, they're like, "Man, Chunks must be so upset," and he is. But like, you think about if you leave your dog at home, what that's like for them. It's like prison. Has to be. So I was thinking about how prison has such a relation to an animal, because we're treating human beings like animals, even though they may not be the best in society, let's say. There are lots that are wrongfully accused, And there are a lot of other reasons as to why those people ended up there. Could be that they had abuse in their life. Could be that they were taught all these kind of things because they didn't have the proper role models around. So, like, your dog is a reflection of you. So if you don't give the best to your dog, it's usually because you're not giving the best to yourself. Or maybe you're giving too much to yourself and not enough to the dog, or animal, or spouse, or whatever you want to call it. So when you're designing your life, you should always design your life in the respects to what it's like, what you're projecting out there, right? So how are you projecting yourself into society? How are you projecting yourself where people are kind of following you or not, right? Like, you got to see that, like a shadow almost, right? Like this tree over here is projecting a shadow of itself into the environment. And that's not much different from how you operate in your life. What are you projecting in your life? How do people see you? So this is the same thing as like owning an animal or dealing with people, is you get what you give. So Chunks is a very well-trained dog. I would like to consider him a very well-trained dog because he does listen. Like, if I were to call him now, he would come. I'm sure. Let's see if he'll come. Let's see if he's a well-trained dog. You gotta give him a minute. He's pooing. Maybe I won't show that, but look, watch. He heard me. See him running already. Look at this beautiful thing. Oh my God. All right, I always call him beautiful because he is. Look at him. He's the most beautiful thing alive in my world. Look at that gorgeous animal. My life, my world. Now, what's interesting about Chunks is that I give him love. I also discipline him with like stern talk and action. But you don't want your animal to fear you. You want your animal to respect you. Same thing with people. You don't want people to fear you unless they're trying to do you harm. You want them to respect you, want to do things for you instead of because you told them to. See, I grew up a very different way than most people, and everybody does, right? Like, my situation is not going to be the same as your situation, and your situation is not going to be the same as mine. But if we're able to combine and collaborate our efforts together, we can totally make an impact in this world. But the world is designed right now to distract you from the real version of you. So we all end up somehow along the ways losing authenticity, losing identity of self. And I know this is a conversation about dogs, but there's a lot to relate to these fine specimens. If I'll stop behind this mailbox and be like, where did he go? Where did he go? Oh. It's like, oh, you're just on the other side. I see you. So animals are like the shadow of us. If we're anxious and disconnected to ourselves, they will be the same way as you. And if you lock them up in the house all day, like this guy doesn't get locked up all day, but he's good with himself now, you know, like I take care of him. But if you're locking your dog up all day long, and you're like, oh, I gotta walk the dog when I get home, well, then you shouldn't have gotten a dog. Maybe a cat's more down your line. I'm not a cat person per se, just because I don't like the whole like going in the litter box and then, oh my god, it's so cute, you're clean, and then they go and walk all over your bed. Can't stand that. I like a dog. They're more personal. They're more up my alley. But interesting thing about a dog is they're man's best friend. They will try to mold themselves to be like you. They will mold themselves to be like you, and they want to please you. Whereas a cat just is like, well, I will tolerate you. Dogs are a whole nother level. Dogs are amazing. You know, like, nothing makes me more happy than to see Dr. Chunks happy. Just look at him. I know I say it all the time. Hey, look at this guy. Look at him. He's like, I know. Stop telling everybody. So we're just on this walk because our lives are special right now. And I am forced to kind of leave him at home in this moment because I have no vehicle. So, whichever. I'm actually not too bummed out about it because I do what I gotta do. We all do what we gotta do. But I was thinking, just the whole point of this video was just how, like, when we leave them at home, it's just like prison. You know, they get let out when you let them out. Like, in a sense, I'm technically like the dog's warden, right? Right, most gorgeous thing? And he waits for me to come home because, for one, he can't use his little paws to unlock the door and leave whenever he wants. It's kind of good that way. But the interesting thing I find is how, when you raise the animal right, how loyal they are. Right? No person would take that kind of shit that we put animals through. And I heard this saying once, it's like, if you want to see who truly cares about you, your wife or your dog, lock both of them in the trunk of your car and see who's excited for you to come back when you get back there. I love that saying because it's so true. It's definitely an example of the loyalty of a dog. Oh man. So we're coming to the end of our job here. Man, it's been a long go. And we're gonna see here. We got a few more things to do. The weather's gonna be a little bit cold in the next couple days. Maybe after that I'll completely finish the job. Right? Beautiful thing. Look at this guy. Not me. This guy. Look at this guy. How come you're so beautiful? How is it that life graced me with such an amazing animal? Huh? Look at him. So, Chunks has been my experiment in this life where the other dogs I had, I didn't have the same mentality, I have to say. And by not having that same mentality, I really learned a few things this next go around with the dog with Dr. Chunks that I have right now, right over here. Where is he? There he is. You always show us your bum, Chunks. You gotta walk with the camera here. So the views that I have now with animals, or dogs in general, is that treat them like family. Treat them like how you want to be treated, and the rewards you will get back from that relationship is far more than you'll ever get back. For most people, I would say, maybe I don't treat people properly, I don't know. I'm still developing myself and still working on how I want to reflect myself in the world. And now I'm having more and more time every day to kind of think about that and pay attention to that. See, what's key is the language you use with yourself, with your animal, with the people around you, and just all around overall projection of oneself comes through the attitudes that we choose to release or send out into the world. Now, sometimes things may happen where people don't treat you well, and that trickles down through your life, and then you end up regurgitating that back out into the environment in which you are existing in. But that can always be changed. You don't have to be like that. You can make changes. You can create new avenues in which you want people to see you in. Like, look at Chunks. He just loves life. Look at this guy. It's so hard to see him on camera. And when I say see him, like, see his facial features, because his eyes are brown, his face is black, everything about him is dark. So at nighttime, you almost can't even see him. If he didn't have that white spot on his chest, you wouldn't see him at night at all. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that's what I have for you for this walk. And thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Thank you for liking, sharing, and don't forget to leave some comments down below on how you feel about the videos, what you would like me to touch on as a subject later. So, thanks very much. Have a great day.